It's late afternoon. An aircraft is parked on a stand southeast of Terminal 3. It's a Boeing 747 operated by Pan Am. The airline was the first to order the iconic jumbo jet in the late 60s. For decades, it was the United States' leading international airline, known for the infamous Pan Am smile. But at this point, the company is in serious financial trouble. The plane preparing for departure has been in service for 18 years. Its name is visible on the fuselage, Clipper Made of the Seas. At the same time, 109 passengers arrived from Frankfurt, Germany. Pan Am Flight 103 is scheduled to take some of them onward to New York City and Detroit. Another 194 passengers will board at Heathrow. The luggage from Frankfurt is transferred to the aircraft. Everything follows standard procedure. The crew assumes the bags were properly screened in Frankfurt, so there are no additional checks. Among the bags is this unremarkable brown Samsonite suitcase. It's placed in a container and loaded into the forward cargo hold. At 6:04 p.m., all 243 passengers are seated, and the plane taxis onto the runway. 21 minutes later, Pan Am Flight 103 takes off on its transatlantic journey. Captain James McQuarrie gently guides the jumbo jet through the heavy clouds. As a seasoned pilot, he knows how to handle the strong winds that are blowing that evening. At 6:56 p.m., the aircraft reaches an altitude of roughly 9,400 meters. It's approaching the Scottish border. Apart from the 3 men in the cockpit, there are 13 cabin crew members on board. They're already serving drinks and handing out headphones. At 6:58 p.m., First Officer Ray Wagner radios in with their current position. At 7:02 p.m., the Clipper Made of the Seas is cleared to cross the Atlantic. But it never will. The brown Samsonite suitcase is located right here. Inside it is a radio. Hidden in its casing are about 450 grams of explosives and a timer. Exactly 50 seconds after 7:02 p.m., that timer hits zero. To understand what exactly happens in the next few seconds, we asked our friends at Mentor Pilot for help.
The bomb blows a small hole in the cargo container as well as the plane's outer skin right here.
SD Gundam G Generation Eternal.
Meet Jim. He just bought an affordable brand new Lennar home. And now he's serving up fresh buckets in his new kitchen.
And at the same time, it also tears through the main cabin floor above it. The explosion acts like a bubble of high-pressure gas, and it blisters the plane's skin right here. Some of the energy from the blast escapes through the hole into the air, but part of it also bounces around inside of the cargo container. The shockwave forces its way through the narrow space between the container and the fuselage, and reflections and chemical reactions then create a second shockwave, which pushes the metal outwards, stretching and blistering the skin around the hole. The pressure then keeps moving through the gaps inside of the plane's structure, soon reaching both the top and the bottom of the fuselage. As it does so, it causes multiple further cracks, and under this stress, the hole grows larger and the metal starts folding back into a star-shaped pattern. The pressure also bounces around inside of cavities under the roof and along the bottom of the fuselage, and together this builds up an overpressure that makes the front section of the plane start breaking apart more and more, until the upper and lower part of the hull is ripped apart. More and more cabin floor beams are now disrupted, whilst cargo and bodies start falling out of the plane. At this point, only the tiny window area is connecting the nose part to the rest of the fuselage, meaning that the plane's structure is now extremely weak. And about 2 to 3 seconds after the explosion, this section here then breaks off, causing the entire front of the aircraft to start turning away to the right. The nose section now detaches and flings backwards, where it hits one of the engines, breaking that off the wing. And without the front part to direct the airstream and balance it out, the rest of the plane now tilts upwards and rolls violently to the left. As the detached nose hurtles towards the ground, the rest of the plane keeps breaking up. The remaining engines comes off, and when the tail fin then detaches, the back section of the fuselage likely slides sideways and also separates. The wings then also breaks apart at some point, although it's not clear exactly how. but they soon tumble down towards Lockerbie. And when they hit the ground, they explode into a massive fireball and creates a big crater. Around this, more than a dozen houses loses their roof from the shockwave, and an 18-meter section of the fuselage now also crashes into a nearby street, scattering luggage and bodies across the road and into nearby gardens. In total, over 300 tons of debris, suitcases, cargo and passengers falls down over the area, with the wind carrying some of the lighter debris as far away as the North Sea. The nose section, with the 3 bodies of the flight crew as well as some first-class passengers, is then crushed completely flat as it impacts the ground on its left side about 4 kilometers to the east of Lockerbie.
270 people died that day, but maybe they didn't have to.